Yeah, oh, it's good for her. Vita was 45 and had.
Good morning. Good morning again. So if it's comfortable for you, please close or lower your eyes and just take a deep breath in with me. And release. Happy Sunday. And so I'd like to read this by Howard Thurman. We lay bare all that we are. Divine Spirit, we turn to Thee in the quietness of this meditation period. It is but natural that we expose to Thee the things in us that seem most worthy and good, that we may delight Thy Spirit and joy Thy heart. The unworthy and the ugly things in us, we almost instinctively seek to hide, to cover up, that we may seem pleasing in Thy sight. But deep within us, we know that this is not enough. We know that somehow we must be totally exposed to Thee, holding back nothing, seeking refuge behind no protecting screen or darkening shadows. We do not keep back the unsightly from Thee because we cannot trust Thee, dare not run the risk, but because we cannot deny the urge to offer in prayer the best that is in us. Teach us to know that Thy love is so whole and so healing that nothing less than all of us can rise to meet Thine all-encompassing care. Teach us to share with Thee the good and the bad in us, the ugly and the beautiful, the clean and the sordid, the success and the failure, all, everything, complete in every part. With penitence for fumblings, failures, ignorances, and sins, with thanksgiving for directness, successes, knowledge, and rightness, we lay bare all that we are to Thy love and Thy understanding, O Divine Spirit. And so with that, let's just take that in. Knowing that we are whole, perfect, and complete in exactly how we are. As Howard Thurman says, in our successes and our failures. Knowing that God is divine perfection expressing through each one of us. May we delight in that. Knowing that it's all good, because it is truly all God. And so it is.
I will surrender to my broken will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am stronger every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. And I am stronger every moment, every day. I will surrender. I will surrender every moment, every day. Yes, I surrender. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart, yes. You are my family. You are the face of God. You are my family. You are the face of God.
I just ask you to settle into yourself. And just recognizing and knowing with me that there is one power and one presence, one divine energy that is in and through and as all. And I know that this energy shows up as love, as compassion, as divine wholeness and well-being. It is health, it is abundance, and it is newness. And knowing that this one power is in and through and as all, I know it is in and as me, and in and as everyone who can hear my voice, and everyone who cannot. Knowing that that one power shows up as each and every attribute, I claim and know that this morning, each and every person gets to express a greater measure of that by remembering who they are and whose they are. And I'm so grateful that this is aided by the message that Reverend Cynthia delivers to us today, knowing that it is from her divine heart.
and it touches every heart. I'm so grateful for the way in which Patty and Dave's music supports the message and helps uplift and remind us of the love that we are. And I'm so grateful for every volunteer, that's seen and unseen, that makes every person feel welcomed and loved because they are. And I'm grateful for each and every congregant that has made their way physically or virtually to this service, allowing themselves to be blessed and then go on to bless the world. So for all the good that is taking place, for each and every person that has said their sacred yes to this morning, I give great thanks. I release my word to that law that has already said yes. And so with a heart filled with gratitude, I just say thank you. I release my word to that law, knowing it is done. So please join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Lauren. So beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Stacy, for that opening and centering. I'd like to center you for another moment.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. Well, I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can see if you are worried, struggling just to make it through one more day, well, you got to let it go, let it all go. Please stand with me. This is what you have to say. Come on. I release, yes, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. Yes, with my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. 'Cause I release and I let go. Come on, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. And I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. 'Cause I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. 'Cause I release, come on, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open so wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. 'Cause I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm here for God. 'Cause I am free, yes, so free in the Spirit. Yeah, oh, yeah. And we're only here for God. Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Patty Powers and Dave, yes. All right, while you're standing, if it's comfortable for you, please say with us, God bless America and the rest of the world, and I mean the rest of the world. Just turn to a neighbor and say good morning and welcome. We'll have time later. Who's here for the first time? You look familiar. How'd you hear about us?
Agape.
Oh. Thank you. Anyone else? I see people I haven't seen in a while. I love that. Martin, hi. Hi. My beloved Daisy and Clarence. All right, Cynthia, you're going to hear some amen. I announced a few weeks ago that Reverend Franny was in a car accident. I just wanted to update you. She gave me permission to update you that she's healing well. And she's going to be a few more weeks. So let's just keep her in our prayers. Absolutely. What else is happening? Now, tonight, Hanukkah begins tonight. It went out. It lit earlier, and then it said, forget you. It doesn't happen till later. Okay. It'll turn on tonight, yes. It's just waiting for the proper time.
Well, as some of you may know, Friday is Reverend Cheryl's birthday. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we sang happy birthday. We don't have cake and cupcakes, but for those of you that can come out on Saturday night at the Platinum Hotel, we're having a little something for Cheryl. So come on out. There's entertainment. Everything's, kind of on your own. You buy your own drinks and everything. But come on out and have some cake and maybe a drink and just celebrate Reverend Cheryl. And just say, I just want to say thank you for all you do and all you are for this teaching. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. The Platinum Hotel, East Flamingo.
Will you please join me in singing to this beautiful woman? Love you, Reverend Sharon. So
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Reverend Cheryl.
you're so perfect, right?
Happy birthday to you, yes. We're so happy you were born, yes. Happy birthday,
So that's it. No more cheers. Cynthia has plans.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would see us sons and daughters? Mary, did you know come to make you new. This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy could calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? The truth will teach, the drum will sound, the healing and the pain. The poor will rise, the rich will fall, and hope will live again. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will someday rule the nations? Did you know that your baby is heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Oh, Mary, did you know? Yeah. Oh, did you know? Yeah, yeah. Did you know he's the great? Yeah. He's the great I am. Oh, oh, Mary, Mary, did you know?
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you. The tissue ready.
One of those things.
All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for being here. So the talk for today's talk is surrender and rebirth, and I should actually insert one more word in there. Surrender, reset, and rebirth. And as you know, right now we're entering the time of what is referred to as the holy days. What makes them holy? Right, long before we had the tradition of Christmas, ancient cultures were already stepping into this time of year with a sense of reverence. And I think they went pretty much based on nature, right? We had, well, we didn't have time change back then, but the way that nature is here to assist us in beginning to enter this time of the year, this era of this time of holy days, actually begins when we do change the time, right? Our days become shorter, our nights become longer. Where before I would have been at the grocery store at 7 o'clock at night, now by 5 p.m. I'm in my PJs and in bed. Jesse comes home from work and he's like, "You're right where I left you." And it's not true. I did a lot, but I went back to that. Right, so this time of year is inviting us to begin to slow down. From like December 1st to December 21st, when we arrive at the winter solstice, which is the shortest day and the longest night. So even though nature is already trying to guide us, right, to begin to slow down, to perhaps lessen the things to do list, we seem to ramp it up. We try to go against nature, which is here to support us. And we end up adding like another 20 things to do, right, to our already long list. So this year, the invitation is, even though we're already at the 14th, I'm going to invite you, we have another 7 days before the winter solstice arrives. I'm going to invite you to allow the level of busyness that has been present to become one of the things that you surrender. You know, how many things that you would typically be doing for these next 7 days are you willing to lay at the altar? What ways of being or things that you have moved through this year already are also things that you're willing to surrender? Because we cannot become the new version of ourselves while we're still holding on to everything of the old, of yesterday. Everybody says, "I want to be different." Well, how can I be different if I'm still dead set on holding on to my judgments, my perceptions, my ways of being? How am I supposed to participate in this time of year successfully, where the light and the rebirth is being celebrated, if I'm like, no, everybody else changed, but not me? So, let's see. The other thing that we're celebrating at this time is Christmas, right, which represents the birth of Christ. But the birth of Christ was not just something that happened 2,000 years ago. It's actually a story about every soul. And so we're going to break down the story of the Nativity metaphysically in a little bit. So can we begin to be present with the energy of, what am I willing to surrender? Can I allow this whole thing to get reset so that there can be a new birth, right, post-Christmas, a return of our own inner light? So, this time of year is a time of change. And the norm for most people is that we start to travel, we start to host, we start to visit, we get really busy buying presents. And the invitation is, can I slow down? Instead of going out so much, can I begin to come in so that I can hear what is ready to be released? And because there's a divine intelligence that operates through this life, and life does not come with subtitles and neon signs. My reset, my surrender, started for Jesse's birthday on October 25th of this year. His birthday's the 27th, but we were heading out on October 25th to Ontario to go to a concert for his birthday to celebrate him. And as we were driving down to Ontario, I got a hit, and it said, "Invite your sister." And I was like, why should I? She just had her birthday on the 18th and she didn't invite me. Not that I wanted to go anyway. But that gives me permission to not invite her to celebrate him, right? So we had the concert on Saturday and a luncheon planned on Sunday. And I had invited my mom, and you know how well we've gotten along. Somehow mom made the list, right? But not the sister. I even invited my brother. But I had invited my son and my 2 granddaughters and his wife, but not the sister. And so as we're driving, I said, if I stay here in this position, then for the next year until her birthday comes back up and his birthday comes back up, guess what I'm going to be thinking about? I'm going to be thinking about how right I am to stand in my judgment for a whole another year. And that just wasn't something that I wanted to focus my energy on for another year. So in that moment, I said, I don't care. And I sent her a text. I said, we're on our way to the Tim McGraw concert. Tomorrow we're meeting at this restaurant, 12 o'clock. Would you like to join us? And she responded right away with an exclamation point, I will see you there. Even though we really hadn't talked for a little bit. So it was that in and of itself was miraculous, that I listened to my intuition, right? Usually when our intuition talks to us, we're like, eh. So we get to the restaurant and everyone from my immediate family is there, and that hasn't happened in years, and it seemed to have happened very easily, actually. Right? My mom, her husband, my brother, his wife, my son, his wife, the 2 grandkids, my sister, and someone that she introduces as a friend, and I find out later as a boyfriend. But I was like, who's this person? So that Sunday, we have a nice luncheon, and we head back home. And that Wednesday night, my mom calls me and says, I just got a call from your sister's boyfriend that she's not feeling well, so she's in the hospital. And I thought, she goes, do you want the boyfriend's number? And I thought, why would I want his number? I don't even know him, right? Instantly the judgment kicks in. What? And I said, no. Let him communicate to you, and you tell me what's going on. I don't know this person. God, the indignation. So the next day, I reach out to her, and I said, Mom said you were in the hospital. I want to check in on you. Or I called and left a message. And she never answered me. So then my sister-in-law calls me, and she says, it turns out that your sister is on a ventilator and she's in a coma. How fast can you get here? And I did something else I never do. I asked for help. But Jesse was heading out of town, and I left him a crazy message. I reached out to CSL, I reached out to Agape, and I asked everyone to hold her in prayer. And so Jesse came back. He ended up not leaving, not going out of town, and he drove me to LA. And the whole way I cried, and I didn't have any tissue, so all I had was this white sweatshirt in the back seat. And I kept grabbing my white sweatshirt and blowing my nose. And Jesse was like, are you getting sick? I was like, no. I kept thinking about how awful, and this still to me feels selfish, but all I could think about was how awful I would have felt had I not listened to that little nudge that said, reach out to your sister. And this would have happened. And so she was in a coma for like about 3 days. And I reached out to Reverend Michael, and I said, is she already on the other side? Can you find out for me? And he's like, give me her name, I'll go look. And so we were in the hospital with her for about a week. And after a couple of days, she came out, but she wasn't herself. She was very nice. And I thought, oh no, her soul didn't come back. Somebody else's soul came back. I was like, this is not my sister. And so my son, when the doctors wanted to release her, and she was still being super funny and laughing at our jokes and being really kind, I said to the doctor, I'm like, I know you think she's good, but this is not her. So she came home, and she still hasn't gone back to work. She just had a follow-up with her neurologist. And although it looked like she was needing me, I didn't realize how much I needed her. She has been facilitating so much for me. She and my brother, right? Because my brother and her live together. My brother has been in addiction since he was 19. He's about to turn 50 this month. And so part of the opportunity that was presented to me continuously since I sent the text inviting her to the luncheon has been, are you willing to set aside your judgments? Are you willing to trade judgment in for love? For all I know, they're freaking acing this incarnation. But because I'm judging based on what I think their lives should look like and what they should be doing, I'm holding myself hostage in this cell of lovelessness. So while my brother was in the hospital coming in and out, sometimes I think he was high. And so it was an opportunity for me to just simply release my judgment around his choices and allow myself to be loved. One of the days while I was at her house, after she came out of or even before, I think there was one morning where my brother got up like at 5 o'clock in the morning. He seemed pretty sober to me. And we got up and we had coffee, and I kept looking at him, and all I could see was the face of Christ. The truth of his being, regardless of what he's walking through in this incarnation. I had something similar happen with my sister, right? As she had like the tubes down her throat, all I could see was the face of Christ. So for me, this opportunity to begin to surrender began in October. And God doesn't know anything about time. So even though we're entering like this season of winter solstice where we celebrate the birth of Christ, the return of the light, it's very likely to me, right, that this whole process for me began then. And like I said, life doesn't come with subtitles or captions. It doesn't say, pay attention because you're arriving at this choice point where you get to let go of how you've been so that you can step into who you want to be. It doesn't do that. So if we are not present enough and willing, how can we change? How can we grow? How can we step into the next version of ourselves if we're dead set on holding on to how we have been? And again, for very selfish reasons, I'm so grateful that I heard and I listened to my intuition that time, because had she crossed over, you probably wouldn't see me here again. I would have been in therapy forever. So, metaphysically, the birth of Yeshua. when the cosmic and, so this is what it actually represents, when the cosmic and the inner world align. Right? That is what is possible for us at this time of year. The way that the frequency hits the planet at this time of year because of like the celestial alignments, because we're being asked to slow down, the inner world can begin to align with the cosmic world. And like I said, the story of Jesus' birth is not simply about one individual that came here into the world. It's the story of every soul that incarnates, what is possible for each of us. And I know you've heard people say that before, but I want you to really get it. So what wants to be born? Yeshua represents the Christ consciousness within us all. And this Christ consciousness, this awareness, is always born in the dark. It also represents our very own divine potential. The birth of Christ, or Christ itself, represents our awakening. It's the emergence of your divinity through your humanity. So many of us think, oh my God, it's like I'm not successful, I never get things right, I fail so often. Because we have this resistance to our humanity. But what if we become available to embracing it all? In the reading that Reverend Stacy shared of Howard Thurman, it talks about successes and failures. That's being human. Can we stop thinking that we're supposed to be perfect? No. You're here to awaken to your divinity through your humanity. So Mary represents the divine principle, the part of you that says, let it be done through me. Right? When the angel approached her and told her that she was going to be giving birth to Jesus, I would have likely said, oh, hell no. Do you know what they're going to say about me? But Mary said, thy will be done, not mine. Right? So Mary represents the part of you and me that is willing to say the same thing. When something in front of us, something presents itself in front of us that feels challenging, can we remember, thy will be done, not mine. Mary also represents allowing the divine light to incarnate. Can we do that within ourselves? Can we be the space, the container for this Christ light to begin to form? And without Mary, this Christ light cannot be born. This part of ourselves, this feminine principle, that is willing to say, thy will be done, that is willing to say, I'll be the space for this light to come through, that is willing to say that without me, it cannot be born. Will you acknowledge that about yourselves? Joseph represents the divine masculine principle. It's the part of you that creates the container for your awakening. And he doesn't birth the light, he protects it. Are you willing to be the container for this Christ light, your own Christ light? Are you willing to protect it? And are you, it says he doesn't carry the vision, he supports it. Right? The feminine, Mary, carries it. He, the masculine, supports it. But we have both of these within us, both the masculine and the feminine. So together they represent how both are needed. They represent the sacred union within you and me. And it represents what happens, what's possible when we surrender. So as this Christ light wants to be born within each of us, the manger represents your heart, the infant represents the divine potential, and the birth represents our awakening. Right? This is the manger right here. The wise men represent the awakened wisdom within you, and together they represent the full spectrum of awakening. The Star of Bethlehem represents your inner guidance, your soul's North Star. Everybody has one, chakra 8, 2 feet above your head. This is your own Star of Bethlehem. Their gifts, the gifts that the wise men brought, the gold represents who you are and it represents your divine worth. The frankincense represents spiritual vision. How do you see? Do you see through your judgmental mind, aka me, prior to October 26th? Or are you willing to see through the eyes of the soul? Because the soul doesn't judge. The soul just observes. Because how else would a soul that is not from this dimension grow other than through experiences?
Amen. Amen.
And the myrrh represents what you must release, the death of the ego. And it represents transformation. So, the myrrh is the aspect of you that says, I am willing to let my old self die so that my true self may live. Because that's what happens when we trade in this older version of ourselves for this thing that wants to be born. The true self shows up. And the shepherds represent and symbolize parts of you as well. So the shepherds that were following the North Star, that went to go be curious about what was happening, they represent the parts of us that are seeking, that are longing to grow, that are longing for truth, and that ultimately want to return home. Right? They want to return home. We want to return home to the truth of who we have fallen asleep to. And so their journey through the night is the soul's journey to the Christ light within. That's the metaphysical breakdown of this story. But it's replaying in you every time that you surrender. It replays in you every time that you slow down. Every time that you forgive. Every time that you release judgment. This story of the birth of this light is playing itself out as your life. So we then get to see through the eyes of the soul. We then get to die to our old selves. And you and I can begin to identify correctly as the divinity that we are. And so what are the effects of this? Karmic patterns lose power. Just because my sister and I had been at odds for the last 20 years, doesn't mean it has to be that way for the rest of our lives. It can be dissolved in an instant. And it was. Just because we may have had soul contracts to be backstabbing, betraying, Judases in one another's life, doesn't mean that it has to continue to be that way. It also means that trauma gets to release. Because the only thing that's ever happening is that life is playing out in a certain way, applying enough pressure to you and me, that we finally say like, ouch, enough, I surrender, I remember who I am. And then people get to stop playing the roles that they've been playing in our lives. And everybody's like all of a sudden high-fiving one another because we all did a really good job. So, it all begins in the dark, right? When it seems really bleak, when our days are very short and the nights are very long, the winter solstice gives birth to the light and the Christmas reveals the light. So this year, don't keep doing what you always do. Don't just, based on commercialism or what everything is expected. Can you begin to slow it down? Can you consciously and intentionally create next year, starting now, by looking at what you don't want to carry into next year? Because you want to travel light and you want to be able to focus your energy creatively, not to continue to put out fires or to suppress anger or judgment or whatever the case may be. That is our invitation. And so I just want to share this last reading with you. It says, the awakening of the Christ consciousness within. There is a light within you that has never been dimmed. A light older than your name, older than your story, older than the world itself. It is the spark that God placed in you the moment you came into being, a spark that waits patiently, lovingly to be remembered. This is the Christ consciousness, not a person, not a historical moment, but a living presence, a frequency of awakened love, a state of absolute clarity, and unity with all of life. The Christ consciousness is the recognition that you and the divine are not two. It is the moment when the veil lifts and you remember, I am made of God, I am moved by God, I am here to reveal God. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Cynthia. That was a powerful message. Wasn't it? It was super good. I'm so glad you guys got back together. That's beautiful.
That was a message for me too. I have a sister too.
I do. We all have a sister.
Yeah. We all have that. That's fine. Can I do the two verses? Because I have.
I love this song, and this version is, this was sung by Don Potter. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He did a beautiful version of Over the Rainbow. When all the world is a hopeless jumble, and the raindrops tumble all around. Heaven opens a magic plane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane. Somewhere over
where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops, way above the chimney tops. That's where you will find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, yeah, yeah, yes. Bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why, little why can't if happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow? Why, oh why can't I? Yeah.
Our house, Patty. Yes, we can. Reverend Cindy, how many sisters do you have?
Just one.
I have 4.
Oh, boy. I'm gonna say one is all you need.
Oh, and I have Stacy, so 5. Oh my gosh. All right. This is that time that, we practice circulation, we practice giving and receiving, knowing that all is well. If you would please take your gift in your hand and say the affirmation on the screen with us, we'd appreciate it. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and turns me to multiply abundantly. And just for that gift that you give, just know that it will return to you multiplied abundantly, and that you can fly above that rainbow. Just as Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living teaches, shows, and knows that each one of you are a blessing not only to the center but to the world. And that makes me very grateful. And so it is.
a part, and our portion in, and our role in committing to how we work together to create a world that works for all. So this class is that place where we get to understand what that looks like and why it was created, which is very important. We talk about cultural patterns, explore how to cultivate welcoming and equitable spiritual community, and develop a deeper capacity for compassionate, values-based action. Great class, it's just 5 weeks. Unlike the old 8-week thing, it's a whole new day. So we'd love to have you there. The class is, how much is it, Cheryl? $125? $125 for a 5-week class. And it begins January 3rd, and it's 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So we'd love to see you there. Thank you. And for those that want to come to honor Reverend Cheryl's birthday and come celebrate with us, it is from 6 to 9 on Saturday, which we never do, but Sherry has offered this place, this space at the Platinum Hotel, and so we had to say yes, and we thank Sherry for offering that. I promise to be here on Sunday morning for our Christmas service, and bright and refreshed and anew. So if you need more information, please come see me.
Sounds like a party.
It does indeed. Okay, well, let's see here. The Healing Words Book Club is reading The Alchemist by Paulos Coelho, and the next meeting will be January 28th at 4 p.m. on Zoom, so see the happenings table to join the book club. And of course, it's our season to renew our membership, so if you haven't done that yet, please renew your membership. And it will be held right here, and there's going to be a new member class too that's going to be held here as well. So, and our Love Supply and Pantry is ongoing. I was just checking it out today. When you're shopping, just pick up a few extra items that are non-perishable, and let anybody know that's food insecure that we do have food here. And then for prayer support, just send your prayer request to prayer@lasvegascsl.org. or text 702-524-7096. And of course, the bookstore is open to buy. The poinsettias are just $12, and you get to take one home with you on next Sunday, which is Christmas Sunday. And I guess, well, just follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Visit our website at lasvegascsl.org. And Patty Powers, where are you going to be?
Where do you think I'm going to be?
Tuscany!
Oh, hope to see you.
You're so sorry.
All right. Please don't leave here with a heavy heart. We have all these wonderful practitioners. Are they here? May I ask the practitioners to please come forward? I want you to see them. The other ministry practice. Any visiting ministers or practitioners may also join us here. Oh wow, see, now I get to see who's here. I love it, I love it. Any one of these folks can pray with you, for you. We also have a prayer box in the front of the room. It says God's Pocket. You can leave a prayer request there as well. I would like to ask Reverend Cynthia to give us a closing prayer.
And so I invite you to close your eyes and let's take a deep breath in. And so how grateful and thankful I am for this now moment. To know that anything and everything that is within our very heart is within the heart of Spirit itself. That anything that wants to be created, that anything that is ready to be released, can be experienced, can be released with such ease and grace while we are enveloped in absolute love, for that is the truth about the only thing that is happening. We are made of the same love that Spirit has created all of creation from. And as we surrender into allowing this to be the truth of our being yet again, without anything standing in its way, we get to show up this way. Show up as divine love for ourselves, divine love for the entire planet, divine love for all of humanity. And so I bless each and every single one of us as we continue to go throughout our day, our night, consciously slowing down, consciously placing at the altar where we are ready to surrender, consciously allowing ourselves to come back to a reset so that we may be born anew. Amen.
let's stand and sing our peace song. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
I know this through my mind. I feel it in my body. And so it is.